Hey friends, how's it going? Coach Walt here. Welcome back to the show, video number 93 and lessons in reselling number 6 in no particular order. I woke up this morning to 3 nice sales overnight. Nice for me. Like I've mentioned before, I sell way mostly inexpensive sports cards, but I also sell a lot of non-card items, as I call them. And I woke up this morning to 3 of those. And the lesson I want to talk to you guys today about is how to price your items. I've heard from a lot of people that say they want to get started in eBay is that they don't know how to price the items. And there's a couple of simple things you can do to start to learn that process. In the eBay app on your phone, there is a camera icon. You hit the camera and you can just take a picture of anything. And more often than not, somebody's got one of those listed. So you can take the picture and it'll pull up the listing of very similar items, or a lot of times the exact item. And you can scroll through and see what people are asking for that exact item. More importantly than what they're asking is what they're actually selling for. So there's like a drop down thing to filter it out to sold items. And that's really what you want to know, is what they're actually selling for. So you can scroll through recent sales, hopefully of the exact same item, see what they're actually selling for, go back and kind of compare that to what they're listed for. Sometimes you want to compare the condition of what you have to what other people have sold. And what I try to do is come in at the lowest price. So if somebody is selling an item for $20, I'm probably going to list mine for $19, because as buyers, you can select a filter of least expensive. So who doesn't want the least expensive of whatever it is you're looking for? So when people click on least expensive, mine shows up first. They might look at my store. They might see my 100% positive feedback. They might see that I have over 1,000 followers. They might see that I have over, I think, 19,000 sales on eBay. That usually makes a buyer pretty comfortable, and they go ahead and click buy it now. Or maybe they'll make an offer. You can also, if your item has a barcode, a UPC code on it, rather than take a picture, you can scan the barcode. And that a lot of times doesn't always work, but a lot of times it pulls up the exact item. So when other people have listed that item and they scan the barcode, it's identical. So it still could be wrong. You want to read it and make sure, but the barcode will pull up the specifics of that item. So check that too. You want to be as accurate as possible. You want to make sure you have the right date or the right model number or any specific variations on your item to make sure you've got the right thing to check your prices. And depending on the rarity, how many of these items are listed at any one time could affect how you price it. If there's a ton available and not many have sold, you want to be low on that, because if someone's going to buy it, you want to buy the cheapest one. If there's not very many available, but a lot have sold, you maybe can price it a little higher, because this is an item that people want and not very many are available. But I guess my number one advice is see what they've sold for. Don't just look at what people are asking. Because like I said in a recent video, you can ask $1 million for a piece of chewed up bubblegum. Doesn't mean people are paying for that. So 2 of the 3 sales that happened overnight, I'll show you, going back to one of my favorites that I've sold a ton of over the years, Vera Bradley. I think this, I forget what it's called, some Paisley, something or other. It appears to have never been used. It doesn't have the outer tag, but it's got one of the Vera Bradley cards on the inside. So I listed it as new without tags, paid $5 for it at a yard sale. That's a little high. Like, I wouldn't normally pay $5 for Vera Bradley, but being that it was unused, and that sold for $25. And this one here, a little bit goes back to one of my previous videos about selling what you know. And, we're always learning. So something I learned a couple of years ago, about Hot Wheels or Matchbox cars, Hot Wheels. They have this thing called Treasure Hunt, which is I guess a limited edition, like a rare car that they don't make nearly as many of. And when your local toy store or whatever is putting out these cars, every now and then you might find one that's rare. But how would you know? So what I learned is that on the package beneath the car, it says Treasure Hunt. And a guy that I was talking to at work who knows about Hot Wheels was telling me about it. And he showed me this specific one. It was like a year or two ago. And he said, if you see this one, this is a treasure hunt. And I was in the dollar store getting some envelopes for all the cheap sports cards that I sell. Went to the toy section, to the Hot Wheels, and there was the exact car that he told me about. So it's called Duck and Roll. And underneath there, beneath the car, you can't really see it. That's that faint writing on the cardboard package. It says, I can't read it all, but you've found a collectible treasure hunt. So I got this at Dollar Tree, I think. Now everything's $1.25 there. And it's sold for $17. So I did have it up for $20 at one point because that was the lowest available at that time. But now this car is a couple years old. Maybe the thrill is worn off. So I've lowered the price down, but still $1.25 into 17. Pretty awesome return. So do me a favor, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you all next time.